Laura McGhie.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Well, we're in the closing stages of this weekend's first League Cup semi-final. Goals aplenty. Celtic are currently beating Hibs 4-2 at Hampden. Celtic's Mohamed El Yunusi. Now, South Africa have ended England's dream of lifting the Rugby World Cup with an overwhelming victory at the final in Japan this morning. For England, there's bitter disappointment, losing 32 points to 12. For South Africans, it's a triumphant moment for a sport that came to represent huge change in their nation. Our sports editor Dan Rowan reports from Japan.
Oof, what a game, eh? Wow. The weather now. Here's Judith.
Stories of the week with Laura McGhie.
Thank you very much, Nick. Good evening. Well, picture the scene. A big Scottish football match abandoned whilst in full flow by the referee because of sectarian or racist chanting in the stands. This week we've learned football's world governing body FIFA has written to the Scottish Football Association and other national bodies calling on them to implement their new zero tolerance approach. And that involves matches being stopped if discriminatory behaviour persists. Will this work? Is it a good idea? Well, let's take a quick look at what people within Scottish football think.
We can't shy away from it.
Siobhan, stopping football games mid-flow, do you think this is the answer?
I don't think it's the whole answer. I think that we've been talking about sectarianism in football for my entire adult life, and we still haven't fixed it. So we have to do more than just go beyond the actual football pitch itself. We have to talk to young people. We have to change the way people chat about it in the pubs. But as a short-term measure, I think, yeah, we probably do need to intervene on football pitches. I think it's a lot of pressure for the referee to do it, but I think that what's been proposed is probably the right actions for the moment.
We were talking about this in the office, Ailey, and we were talking about how this could potentially be used as a tool for fans goading players of the opposite team and potentially changing results because of that. What do you think of that?
I think that's something that would need to be worked on to try and make sure that it delivers a result that's fair. Because I think as well as the fans probably being outraged at a game being stopped, to think of the players who will have trained for a particular result and to have that stopped in full flow. But that said, as Siobhan says, we've been trying to tackle this for years and we've not got any further. So if we try it and it works and it potentially shames fans into behaving a little better, then it's worth a go.
Hayley, you're a mother. Do you think this would make a more family orientated stadium, or do you think it might do the opposite?
Oh, I don't know. I think if there's going to be any sort of shouting and name calling, I think it's going to happen regardless. I feel quite uneasy about my 7-year-old going to a football match, and I've not let him do that so far anyway. My partner's desperate to take him to a Celtic game.
Why are you worried?
Just because of, a friend had told me recently that her son came back and asked what a certain word was, and we were all horrified that, some of the guys and women don't have any idea that they're young kids about and they'll shout whatever, and I just think I'm trying to educate my children to be accepting of everybody regardless, and share a bit more love in life, and I don't think a football stadium is that kind of environment. And it's a shame because I wish it was, because it's all about the game, isn't it? It's not about your race or your gender or what country you're from. It's about the football match, and that's what I don't get. But I was speaking to a taxi driver as you do on the way through here, and he was saying it's all about the banter. He's like, it's banter. Even in the same families, they'll have banter with each other about the football, but it gets, some people just take it too far, and I think it is a minority that take it too far. So whisk them out. Just ban them. Why can we not do that? Remove the problem.
They have tried that, but...
And why is it not working?
Well, exactly. I think... Siobhan, what do you think about this? How fair is this system? Because it is mostly just a small proportion of people in the stands that are doing this, so why punish everyone, as briefly?
Because otherwise we won't stamp it out and it will carry on, and it's a blight on society, and none of the other solutions have worked. I'm no expert on football, but I have seen just progressively how various proposed solutions just have not worked, and I think that we've just got to give this a try now.
Okay, we'll keep following it.
Yes, we will indeed.
Yes,
of course.
Now, for the last few Christmases, this song has sparked some controversy.
While I fall.
The neighbors might
But
think.
baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this
No
drink?
cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your
how.
eyes are like...
Yes, maybe it's cold outside, where a man tries to persuade his female companion to stay over. It's raised questions over consent. The song was written in 1944. This week, US singer John Legend said he was re-recording the song for his Christmas album with Kelly Clarkson and changing some of the more contentious lyrics. Some changes of the new lyrics are thought to... That's beautiful.
Why are they using Kelly Clarkson?
I mean,
How do you feel about
it's not John.
He didn't do that in rehearsal. That's me, we're speechless. Wow, what do you think? Not about Nick singing, but what are we being a bit snowflakey about this, or are you offended by those lyrics from 1944?
I think we are being a little bit snowflakey because, I mean, this was 1944. Do you know what I mean? They wrote songs how they spoke then. We don't speak now how they spoke in 1944, do we? And we have different, slightly more, more awareness of offending each other. And I think in 50 years' time, maybe some of the songs we're writing now will offend people. So I think, why was it not offensive in the 70s or the 80s? And then why only recently? Is it because we're a bit more, oh gosh, it's like, it wasn't, I don't think it was meant to be offensive then. I think it was how they acted. But, and saying that, I wouldn't like to be singing offensive songs to anybody. So.
This is it, and
it's a difficult line.
It's difficult not to hurt people's
It's just
feelings.
a song.
But Siobhan, if are your feelings hurt by that, or are you offended by that? And if you are, does it actually matter?
It doesn't matter if I'm offended. However, I'm not. I actually think it's a PR coup by John Legend and Kelly Clarkson. I think that there will be endless... I'm a total cynic, I'll confess that. I think there'll be endless media coverage, including us just now, talking about this new PC version of it coming out for Christmas, and it may well hit the top of the charts or whatever. Look, I'm not offended by the original song. It's a nice song. I get it that there are issues with consent that we have to address, but I don't think changing the lyrics is the way, and I think that we should be encouraging artistic newness and ingenuity and listening to different songs rather than just sort of going back over the past and trying to rewrite it in the way that we'd like to see it. I think it's a load of nonsense.
But Ailey, this doesn't matter anyway because all Christmas songs are rubbish.
I mean, I'm furious that we're even discussing this because it's the 2nd of November, for goodness sake.
Oh, go on, Ailey.
I know, killjoy.
You're stocking up.
But I must say, changing it now, I think it's right that it's a PR coup, but we can acknowledge that there are problems with the lyrics. And, I was on a couple of weeks ago talking about pick-up artists, and this is the sort of language that they use, that sort of last-minute resistance. A woman doesn't really mean no. So,
Sure.
Indeed.
changing lyrics.
Serious point as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And when's your album out? Anyway, that's it from Nick and I tonight. Martin and Rebecca will be back with a 9 on Monday, and tune in for the 7 tomorrow.
But from Fiona and me, from Laura and our panel, thanks for joining us and enjoy the rest of your evening.